Hey guys, Rob, Sigma 3 Survival School. This is part 2 of the, fish trap variation. Now we're going to show you how to set it. A lot of our, comments have been, show us how to set it in, a pond or whatever. Now there's a gazillion places that you can set this up. So, basically anywhere you can submerge it or any kind of creek or whatever, it's going to catch you fish. But it's going to work a little bit better in clearer water than it is dirtier water. And this is really a fish trap meant for stuff about brim or small bass size. You're not going to catch any large catfish or anything like that in here. But really, brim is what you want to go after. That's a prime eating fish. You can catch a whole lot of them. You can dry them and store them easily. And honestly, I prefer to go after a few brim than one medium-sized catfish or something like that. But that's just my preference. So the first step is you need to get a couple of stakes to actually stake this to the ground, which we've got. And one of the students is actually going to demonstrate setting it. And when you set it out, you just want to, basically anywhere you think the fish are going to be, all you need to do is just make sure that this is submerged under the water. You can throw a rock in here, but that's not going to weigh it down completely. You're going to need a couple of sticks to kind of X over it and jam those into the ground. Now, the one downside to this trap is this is not a short-term survival trap. You're going to need to let this set out for a few days in whatever spot that you set it, and the fish are almost going to kind of get used to it like it's a piece of, underwater log or whatever. And, today we don't have any of the proper bait. Typically, once I catch a fish, I'll just throw fish guts in here and you just keep replenishing it. And basically your fish trap here becomes like a big chum site. And the more you leave it there and the more fish you catch, the more guts you throw in, the more it kind of perpetuates itself. Today we're just going to use bread. That's all we had, and we don't have time to go fishing to catch something. If you didn't have any kind of fish bait, or if you didn't have any fish guts, any kind of animal guts, anything that you have left over, let's say you caught a possum and you had its guts or whatever, throw anything and everything that'll stink in here into the trap. Make sure you don't put it right in front of the doorway. You want it off to the sides of the trap. Yep. That's perfect. Now jam that all the way to the ground. You want it all the way set at the bottom. There you go. Hold the top so it doesn't split out. There you go. Alright, so it's as simple as that. Once you get the trap completed, just set it in a spot that you think is a good fishing area. There's a lot of places, but it's really going to be contingent upon the area and the type of fish that you're going after. Like I said, this is one of those traps that you have to leave out for quite a long time and let the fish get used to it being there. Over a week's time, after you've caught several fish in it, like I said, you keep chumming the area, more and more and more fish keep coming around and they keep getting caught in the trap. We are going to leave this out and check it in the next day. I'm not making any promises about whether we're going to get something because we have very marginal bait and then we only have a limited amount of time to leave it out here. But nonetheless, I wanted to show you guys how to set this up at least in one type of location so that if you ever do use these skills that you know what to do with them. So we'll check this probably tomorrow or the next day, and then we'll show you the results, and hopefully the minnows won't peck our bread to pieces, and we'll get some fish. Alright guys, so we've left this thing out a couple of days, and that's honestly longer than we should have for the type of bait that's in there. I'm going to be highly surprised if we actually caught anything with this. Like I said, you typically need to leave these out for a week after you start catching your first initial fish. You gut them, throw them back in the basket, and it becomes like a big chum zone that the fish get accustomed to and they start coming back to over and over. So, you know, he's going to pull this. You know, maybe we got something, maybe we didn't. The whole point of this video, though, is tons of you guys have been commenting, how do I set this up, where do I put it, etc. And that's the main purpose. We just wanted to show you, you know, where you can put this up, you know, the methods that we use around here, and what works for us.
We're getting lifted up out of the water. Is there something in it?
Lead.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a catfish for a second.
Caught some salmon
Alright,
thread.
dragged out.
All right,
No
so I
dice.
was wrong. We did catch something. It's a lunker. This is literally the smallest fish I think I've ever caught, other than like minnow traps. So, you know, the basket trap did work, but you know, obviously we wouldn't be eating too much between the four of us out here at class today. So, anyways, you know, it is what it is. I thought I'd show you that we at least did catch something for our efforts. But don't use bread. This just goes to show you like how much preservatives are in some of our food. We have some of that SERE bread, and we've literally let it set out at camp for like 2 months, and you can't tell any difference in it. Then we threw some of it in the trap, and it sat in the water for 2 days, and you know, was still whole, hadn't dissolved, and nothing wanted to eat it. So you know, go GMO, go preservatives. Anyways, you know, if you're interested in learning these types of skills, you know, check out the website. Come to some of the standard classes, and if you got any questions, throw them over there in the survival forum. We'll have some of our instructors answer them. Thanks. Sigma 3 out.